Okay, y'all, pulling up to the third, fourth, and fifth stops of the day. Got two knocked out earlier. Not really showing y'all any mowing footage, so try to get some of that in today. So this house right here is one of the houses we're doing today. Got some hedges to trim and some detail work to do there. And we got a couple up the road here. One large, one very small. So the house up here on the right with the truck parked in front, we mowed just the front yard there, nothing else. And then we have this yard on the corner with this big, we'll just call it an annex. Too small to put a house on, so the developer just put it on that house. We'll get you set up and get some mowing footage in. Okay, wrapping up 3 and 4. See here, it looks we don't really do stripe kits or any real concern about striping here in Florida. Hardly anyone does. Golf courses maybe, some ball fields, but we just don't have the grass that takes to the striping very well. But here you go. This guy, as you can see if I can zoom it in here. It's hard to tell on the camera, but he has real thatch issues, but has not yet okayed taking care of that. So we're just hoping that he doesn't get any chinch bugs this summer. We're about in heavy chinch bug season. About another month from now, it'll be hot and dry. There's the other yard. Again, both of those are mow and goes, as I call them. Mow, edge, line, trim, blow off. So we're up here to take care of number 5. Just finish it off. Uh-oh, the telltale beep of no seatbelt. Don't sight me, please. Okay, sarcasm. A little heavy there. But anyway, here we are at, again, the last one in the street. We'll get this knocked out and head on out. Okay, so our holly and ligustrums are trimmed up. You'll see this house more often in the future, as there's a couple of projects coming up here. One's a simple clean out of those beds and freshen up the mulch. And in the back, we have some conservation area that needs to be cleaned up and have some invasive species removed. So those are coming up. I think we're doing the mulch end of this month and the conservation area next month. Off to the next set of properties. So here we are at job number 6. I was thinking that we were going to have to trim the hedges, and they're a little loose, but not terrible. The one back there is probably the worst, but more important are the weeds. So we're going to take on the weeds today, get this cut and edged and cleaned up, and we'll be out of here. All right, guys, we went ahead and I trimmed the hedges today. Saw that these palms are going to have to be trimmed next week. Got some seed pods opening up, some that are about to, and they're getting kind of close to the roof. So we're going to take those down next week. So I figured I'd go ahead and get the hedges cut today. I wanted to talk to you guys, mostly you new guys, that little things you can do to show your clients the attention to detail that you will provide for them. And this applies mostly to guys not running grass flats or chute blockers or whatever iteration you want to use. Window sills, especially the neighbors. Blow them off each week, blow them off. Pool equipment, AC pads, whatever you got, blow them off. See the viburnum hedge there that's trimmed. Obviously any patio surfaces by the doors and the lip of the pool. If there's a pool, blow that lip off. Keep it clean. Here's their view, by the way. For a subdivision, what we call here is 0 lot line subdivision. Not too bad. So another little patio. And for those of you wondering what the stones are for, that is a dry well for the pool runoff, gutter runoff. You see the pool was damaging the turf here in the swale. So I had to cap that off. Well, not cap it off, but had to give it a place to go so it wouldn't drain in here. And yeah, that they left a present. Almond flavored liqueur. Okay, we're gonna put those up there. They have young children, so I will let them know they're there. Another hedge, another windowsill. Keep them cleaned off. So, one other thing we'll look at up here. You can't really see it with the sun the way it is now, but I think when we get on the other side, you'll notice it. Before we get to that, if you have cleanouts, keep them visible. Nothing worse than not being able to find the cleanout when the plumber has to come. So here's the last thing I wanted to discuss. This yard here isn't ours. Not sure when it was cut. Let me zoom in. But you can see that we don't cut as short as whoever did this yard. I cut, very high, especially this time of year. Got to shade the roots. We're entering a time of year that's really hot and humid with a little rainfall. So no water's getting to those roots. Anyway, number 6, all done. Here we are wrapping up 7 and 8. You can see down in there, right about there. That's pretty typical for April, May, early June in Florida, at least in this part of Florida. Hot spots. You can water this all the time and they're gonna be hot spots. It's just too hot and humid for, you'd have to water all the time. That's all there is to it. If you have a really healthy lawn, it can take that. Those hot spots are actually former damage that's full of weeds. The St. Augustine's, it's dry, but it's hanging in there. We got some palms to trim next time, but Jeep's in the way. Some more Robelinis to trim. Those Ilex shillings right there will be trimmed next week as well. So that wraps up 7. And this one is 8. Also, this one's even more dry than the last. So they're almost due for some palm trimming as well. This is a homeowner. They did their own install up here. Not bad looking. We'll see how it goes. now that we're in the hot months. They've somehow piled up all their leaves there. I'm not sure why. Go ahead and take this guy out of here for him. I guess that's one of the ones that didn't make it. But this side of their lawn's pretty healthy, pretty green. Anyway, that's 7 and 8. Off to the next ones. There's some background noise. Common areas being mowed behind me by a much larger company. Anyway, here I am at number 9. Got some trimming to do back here. Other than that, it's going to be pretty much an in and out job. Catch up to you when we're through. All right. Since I just mentioned it, we'll take a look at what they're doing. Just mow one of the big common area fields and taking out the C3, doing some cleanup. So here we are finishing up with number 10 for the day. Didn't need to be cut. Just took the line trimmer and knocked down some weeds. Trimmed up the hedges over here. Sorry about that. See our crepe myrtles coming in nicely. It's amazing how nice they look when you don't just completely botch it. And you know, to each their own. I'm not here to judge it. All right, here we are, the final property of the day. Got some hedges to trim. Have out there all along, there's a hilltop out there, right there. Those are our Walter viburnums. Got to trim those up. In front of those are some firebush, and we may tip these dwarf bottle brush here, but not sure. They're pretty full of bloom, so I might just let them go. Got that to do and some bahia to mow, as you can see. So we'll take this out, head on, well, back to the shop. Thanks for watching. Well, all right, here we are finishing up the last one for the day. See, the grass is cut. We trimmed those hedges there and on the back side of the building 2 weeks ago, so we left them for today. They're all pretty tight. Behind the building will probably need to be done next week, or in 2 weeks actually. This is still one every other week. The bottle brush we left, again, they're getting ready to bloom, so we left them. There's a little bit dead in a couple of them, but they're getting there with their blooms. That one actually looks spent already. They're not the healthiest. That's why I want to let them go as long as they can. You see there's one that's already been removed. A couple more there that have been taken out. One needs to be taken out. This one as well, since there's the Walter viburnum growing through it. So we'll have to cut out what's left of that bottle brush. There's still something alive in there, but not worth saving. That viburnum was a volunteer. So now, the main reason I'm walking you through here is to, well, didn't mean to show the sign. Edit. All right, so the reason that I took you through here is to show you this. Little branches and whatnot from oak trimmings. So I got a call from the owner of this establishment asking if I had been there the previous night, and I had not. And he said, well, somebody dumped a pile of tree branches that took up 2 entire parking spaces in his lot. So don't be that guy. Just don't be that guy. It's not cool. Speaking of oaks, got to trim this one up too. So there's the hedges I was talking about that we trimmed a couple weeks ago. They're going to need it next week. There's a podocarpus. If I can point with this palm boot, right there is the podocarpus. So there's a row of them staggered all the way down. So that's on the agenda next time out. Anyway, that's been every property of the day, except the first 2, but they were in my own neighborhood, so I'm not showing them. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you find it informative or just like looking at what you see or whatever. I'm not going to say it's entertaining because it wasn't really entertaining today. I'll get better at it. Take care, guys.